I'm Shruti. I'm a master's student in computer science, and I'm working on a research project on modeling emotion propagation in online communities. So how many times has it happened that after a really bad day, you get into the bus, you meet a very happy bus driver, and you can't help but feel as happy as he is? So emotions are contagious, but are they also contagious on social media? Here is a BBC News post from March 2014. It says social networks like Facebook can spread moods. So according to a recent study, the world has about 2.4 billion internet users, out of which nearly 1.8 billion are active social network users, which is 75% of the user base. So social networks are pretty pervasive in our lives, and studying these social networks is interesting. Here you can see a graph from Facebook's user base. All the lighted parts are users, and all these lines represent friendships or connections across the world. So any network has users and connections. But why is it interesting? Because they are very similar to real social networks in many ways. Real relationships become friendships and connections. Social interactions become digital conversations. And in these digital conversations, people express themselves online in various ways. We ask the question, when they write a post or a status update, what were they feeling? We are looking at the emotion behind what they wrote online. Who would be interested in emotions online? It turns out that a lot of educators, counselors, and psychotherapists are turning to social media to reach their potential audience. They want to build communities of trust and confidence around people. Also, a lot of businesses want to know how people are reacting emotionally to their advertisements and campaigns. So basically, a lot of stakeholders are interested in finding out the emotional state of the person. How is this done online? We have a system called the emotion detector system, and a status update made online is passed as input. It has an emotion lexicon and an algorithm, and you get an emotion score. Let's see an example. Given a post, say it's 7:30 and I'm happy, happy, happy. This post given to the machine gives us scores of 10 emotions, and it says this post has anticipation, joy, and trust. Let's look at a not so obvious example. I'm happy, I will never show sadness in my face. It's easy for us to say this is not a happy post. The machine does pretty well here. It classifies it as a negative post, something which has sadness, and it could be related to trust. But this is just identifying the emotion. What about the patterns of propagation? Let's see a network of friends. All these lines represent friendships. Anna is happy, and she makes a post at 7:30 in the morning. Now, the friend of Anna, John, can see the post made by Anna, so he can experience a similar emotion, and he expresses himself. So he says at 9:30 in the morning, a beautiful day indeed. Now, the friends of John, that is George, Ben, and Sarah, can see the posts made by John. They can also feel similarly happy about the day, and they post something on their respective Facebook walls. So this is how we think emotions will propagate in social media. Through the friendships, through the connections. Now, this is just one emotion I showed you. There are so many other emotions: fear, joy, excitement, anger, and all these emotions will behave differently when you look at the whole network. So we want to identify the patterns of propagation for each emotion. What could impact the speed at which these emotions propagate? For maybe the time at which you post, you will decide how many people see it or how people react to it emotionally. What about users' personality? Does it have an impact? The kind of friends you have, will that impact how many people see your post and respond to it? So if we're able to answer all these questions, we want to build a predictive model that can predict future emotion. Why could this be important to the community? Imagine if we could deliver inspiration to people even before they're completely depressed. We could extend counseling and care, build support systems around the person from their friends. This is how we can reach people who need help. So in this project, we want to identify the emotional state of a person first, online, study the patterns of propagation of different emotions, and possibly counsel and care through friends. Thank you so much for your attention and time. It's been a pleasure presenting here. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.